Hello everyone, this would be our second video, the same topic which we were discussing in last. Those are called some basic key terms of accounting. So let's continue with that. In last video, we discussed about your business transaction, entity, concept, assets, then different types of assets, fixed assets, current assets. We were on, I think, current liability. Yes. So liability, I told you that liabilities are called obligation which you have to pay. Same way like assets, liabilities are having two types. One is non-current liabilities, means long term, and one is current liability. Current liability is called less than 1 year. Non-current liability means fixed liability or long-term liabilities are called more than 1 year. Bank loan, I've explained you, bank loan is called long-term loan taken by an enterprise. Mortgage is called if you are just pledging your security with the bank to get loan. So that security in the context of once you are pledging, it is called mortgage. Loan from other financial institutions means it doesn't mean you can take loan from bank only. There are number of other institutions you can take loan from them. Other long-term liabilities also means other than bank loan, mortgage liabilities. So those are called other long-term liabilities other than these three. Then creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses, bank overdraft. Let's understand each and every kind of current liabilities now. One word is trade receivable, one is bills receivable. Two differences are there. Trade receivables, once we add debtors plus BR, it becomes trade receivables. Trade is called business, receivables is called your dues. Debtors plus bills receivable. Debtors, I told you that debtors are called those customers to whom you sell goods on credit. Those customers becomes your debtors. Bills receivables, I told you that you can get back to your payment in cash, in checks or in bills. If any customer giving you any kind of bills, that would be short-term assets because you are going to collect that payment in less than 1 year. So those becomes your bills receivable. Now debtors are there. There are persons who are owed to enterprise. This we did. Bills receivable. Yes, you can have that payment in the context of bills also. Those bills are called bills receivable. Next, we know that in business, two transactions are there, buying and selling. Because if you are selling those customers on goods on credit, those are called debtors. It means if you are purchasing goods on credit, means your supplier is giving you, your suppliers are selling goods to you on credit. It means you become creditors, means those persons, those suppliers becomes creditors for your business organizations. So these are persons who have to paid by an enterprise, means those persons from whom you are purchasing goods on credit, those are called creditors. Next, bills payable, same way. If you are receiving bills in the context of your sale, means in the return of your sale, those are called bills receivable. If you are giving bills to those persons from whom you are purchasing goods on credit, those becomes your liabilities. Liabilities, I told you, liability is called your obligation. You have to pay. Capital, this is important one. Capital, we know that once we going to start any business, we have to invest money into the business. So once we are investing money into the business, it means that amount is called capital. Initial or essential investment for commencement of every business, means for starting any business, commencement is called starting. Once you are going to start any business, you are investing money, that investment is called capital. Then sale is there. Sale, we know that once we are selling goods, it might be in cash or credit. This is important term. Revenues. Revenue is called, it is the amount which is earned by selling of products. Once you are selling your products, that sales plus other kind of income, once you add those becomes revenues. Revenues basically is called your earning. So it is the amount which is earned by selling of product. Expense, that I think we know this expense. It is known as cost of assets consumed or services which used. Means if you are selling anything, it means you have purchased some kind of raw material. So any kind of cost of a raw material or cost of assets or consumed or services which you used to sell, that becomes your expense. Okay. Then expenditure, it means spending money for some benefit. So if you are spending anything other than that expense also, that becomes your expenditure. Profit is there, excess of revenue over expenses, means revenue is called your income. If your income is higher, and expense is lower, let's say your sale is rupees 1 lakh and your expenses, total expenses in that year is rupees 50,000. So once you deduct 1 lakh minus 50,000, it means your income are higher over your expenses, it becomes your profit. Then gain, it generates from incidental transactions such as sale of fixed assets. Profit and gains, there is a difference, but still we are using sometimes in the both way, that profit or gain, but still there is a minor differences there. Profit is called, this is called a simple or business nature. Gain is called incidental transactions. So what is there? Incidental transaction means supportive transactions. Other than in earlier example, I told you that 1 lakh, let's say your sale and expenses 50,000, your profit is 50,000. But other than this profit, let's say if you are selling your any kind of assets, let's say you just sell your old car of rupees 40,000 which you are using for your business. So that sale becomes your gain, because if you are selling that fixed assets on profit, that profit is called gain. Okay. The loss is there. Once your expenses, this is called vice versa conditions. If your expenses are higher, let's say your expenses are 1 lakh and your sale is 50,000, it means you are into loss. Discount is there. Concession or deduction in price of goods sold. Once you are selling any goods on less than the price, you are giving any kind of benefit in cash, that is called your discount. Voucher, it is known as evidence in support of transactions. The point is that we are saying from the starting that transaction should be there in books for the recording the transaction in the books of accounts. Now how could you prove the transactions? Those evidences are called vouchers. Let's say you're doing business and your business organizations comes under audit. Audit is called verification of accounts. One auditor came, that person say that could you check me, could you give us the evidences for those? You are mentioning that purchase is rupees 10 lakh, your sale is rupees 20 lakh. Do you have any kind of evidence? So once you say your bills, once you show that those bills to that person, those are called vouchers. So vouchers are very much important in the business. So it is known as evidence in the support of transactions. Now goods are there. Goods, we know that for selling raw materials are required. So those are called tangible assets. So goods means your stock. Now if you're saying your stock, it might be in the shape of raw material, it might be in the shape of work in progress or finished goods. These are three terms we use for closing stock or stocks. Now why we are using over here? Because we know that if we are doing in business, that you can do in trading also or manufacturing also. If you are into trading, let's say you are just purchasing material and as it is, without just converting that without using any kind of process, you just directly sell that material to someone else. It is called trading business. But if you are manufacturing, let's say you are doing furniture production, so what you are doing, you are purchasing wood, that becomes material for you, then you use that material to produce any kind of furniture things or products, like you are producing your you can say chairs, okay, sofa sets. So those become finished goods for you. So goods means your material, it might be work in progress. Now work in progress means which is not material and also not finished goods, means those goods which are totally produced becomes finished. Those we are using to produce finished good, those becomes raw material. Which are not finished, not raw material, still in the machinery, those are called work in progress. Drawings are there. If you if you withdraw any kind of use for personal use, any kind of goods for personal use, let's say you're doing a business, you need that product, because we know that in economics that one customer, it becomes a seller, let's say. Now that seller is also a customer. Same way, let's say one flour mill is there. The person, the owner of that flour mills, he also consumes that flour, wheat. So that's why if you are using any kind of product for business, from business for personal purpose, that transaction becomes drawings. Purchases, we know, procurement of goods, availability of goods on credit or cash, it is called stock. We know that opening stock and closing stock is there. Opening stock means if you are doing your business, we know that for how many number of years, the stock which you have left with at the last, means at the last of closing the books of accounts, the stock which is left with you, which you just unable to sell, that stock is called closing stock. For next year it becomes opening stock. Okay. Balance sheet, this is your last. Balance sheet means your financial statement which shows exactly your true financial positions, means assets and liabilities. The balance sheet is called your total assets and liability in the business, which tells the actual financial position of the business, true picture. What are the assets, what are the liabilities are there, it is called balance sheet. Next we have capital expenditure. Capital expenditure means any kind of long-term assets if you are purchasing, which can increase the capacity of your business, like if you are purchasing machinery, that is called capital expenditure. If you are purchasing building, that is called capital expenditure. So anything long-term, any kind of long-term assets which you are purchasing, those are called capital expenditure. Some example of capital expenditure, the expenditure which are only for acquisition of fixed assets. If you are acquiring fixed assets are called long-term assets. Furniture is there, building is there. So those are called your capital expenditure. Revenue expenditure is called those expenditures which are within that current year, that is not for long term, that we incurring to get that sales happen. Means for selling your goods and services, you have to expense, you have to spend some amount on that, like administration, your expenses are there because you have to manage your office staff. Manufacturing expenses are there, selling expenses are there, office expenses are there. So these day-to-day expenses for current year are called revenue expenditure. So anything relates to 1 year, if you are incurring for that relates to only 1 year, it is called revenue expenditure. Anything which relates to more than 1 year, if you are spending any kind of if you are making any kind of investments for long term in machinery, plant, those becomes your capital expenditure. So these are the basic thing we did. Next is your accounting principles and conventions. So these are important ones also. And last we did total what are the basics we need to understand while doing your accounts, because once we are moving to our practical questions, chapters, means your journal, ledger, your trial balance, then we should know the basic things, like might be we are using these terms, we just gonna use into those your practical questions. So that's why I have started with the same. Now next topic is your accounting principles and assumptions. Now accounting principles and assumption means, or concept means, on which our whole accounting system are based. Like if you're saying science is also based on some kind of principles. Let's say once we use that formula of H2O, so it means we know that H2O means hydrogen plus oxygen. So there is a convention into that, because these things we cannot change. So same way, once we are making our books of accounts, those books of accounts are based on some kind of principles. So this is all about for this video. In next video we'll discuss thoroughly those accounting principles and convention. So just try to comment on this. If you want to ask any query, then put your query